minutes.
Oh, so VJ.
Nah, I'm gonna just keep it.
VJ told me before, like, but when I finally like flew with him and I seen him get like randomly searcched.
I get ready
And
to
he
say
said,
all the time.
and he said, like, because he used to
Nigga be
fly
in the
back a
airport
lot,
with
like
turbans
going
on.
back home from LA, up north. So he was like, "Oh, this happens all the time." And now, like, finally seeing it, I was just like, because they say it's random, but his name's Vijay.
Yeah.
India is Vijay.
In India is it's a very common name. It's like Michael in America.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a high chance that at some point there's a Vijay out there. Or a VJ, if you pronounce it
Time
American.
out. We just keep calling motherfuckers the wrong name.
She about to call you Vijay now. That's it. You done.
God damn.
This nigga's name is VJJ. VJJ.
What's wrong with us?
Hey, look.
Vijay Olaganathan Tidwell.
VJJ. Finish your
Yeah.
story.
My name is VJ.
Your name is VJJ.
But the way it's spelled,
Tell anybody.
Right.
the way it's spelled. So one time I got they asked me to step to the side after I went through the metal detector. I didn't have nothing on me. Obviously, they asked me to step to the side. I talked to the dude. He was like, "Yeah, your name's on the terrorist list."
Wow.
Because it's so common over there.
My first name is so common that they had to assume that I was a terrorist.
And you look Muslim.
Which is crazy.
They look black.
Which is crazy because we know
You
the
didn't have on a
biggest
do-rag at that
terrorists
time.
are melanin deficient.
Yeah.
Schizoactivity.
Were you wearing a kufi or a do-rag?
I think I had a beanie on.
I was just like, his hair was
That's
just
close
real
enough
slick.
to a kufi.
I think I had a
That was
beanie on.
it.
That's
That's
your
all you
fault for
come in
doing
there was
that.
like, I think that's VJ. He got on a beanie. Oh yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we got to check him. But that's crazy though, because statistically speaking, the biggest
came to me
terrorists are
halal.
homegrown and they are melanin deficient. So I don't know
Right,
why
right.
they would.
Right. So it's crazy, right? But that
Yeah.
that's something that I've dealt with in the past.
Yeah.
So it's
I remember getting pulled
It's a
over
trip.
once because of. I remember getting pulled over once, and it was so interesting because of the dude in my car. They walked over and they naturally asked me, "What's your PFN number?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "You know what it is?" And I was like, "No, I don't." The dude I was in the car with knew what it was because he had one, but I did not.
What's a PFN?
It's the number that you get when you go to jail.
your prison number.
Wow.
So literally, like, you come to me and tell me what your PFN number is if I have one.
Right.
The fuck does that mean?
All right. Same way they always ask, are you on parole or you got a
That was
warrant?
the next
You know?
question. So
like,
when I was like, I really don't know what that
You
is.
got
and
tattoos?
so this is how he.
Right.
Oh, this is how he
what gang
explained-
you a part of?
This is how he explained
Oh,
it to me.
it's
So
the-
when
it's the
when
one
I
that
said
says
I don't know
B.
what that is, he said, "Are you on probation or parole?"
Right.
So yeah,
No, not that one. The other one.
that's
Right.
not okay.
And I'm like, man, like I remember there was one time where I
Not the
was
one
in
that says
college.
bubble. That one.
And I have the car that I have now. It's a white Hyundai Civic. It's pretty new. It's 2013, so at the time it was recent.
Mhm.
It was brand new. And me and my boy, he's Mexican. We went. It was late night. We went out to get some food. Went to Jack in the Box down the street. And because I was already kind of used to this happening, like it had happened like 3 or 4 times prior to this. We were driving. I'm driving the car. And I see the cops, and they get behind me. They don't turn on their lights, and
that's the worst part.
right. So I tell my bro, I said, bro, we about to get pulled over, or he's running our plates because he's real close on my tail.
Mhm.
I say he's running my plates. So because Jack in the Box was so close, like we didn't get pulled over. I see the cop. They like kind of smash off down the street. And we turn into the Jack in the Box, and I see him make a U-turn and go back the other way.
So I'm gonna run your
Right.
plate. So there's nothing on there.
Nothing
so,
on there,
okay,
right?
cool.
So we get our food, we head back towards my house, and as I come to a stop sign back on the route, I see the cop in the cut down the distance, just lights off, tucked away, everything. And I said, okay, they're there. That's them. I said, we about to get pulled over. Just watch. Just watch what happens. Mind you, it's super cold that evening. It's like 11 p.m., something like that. Real cold. I think I got a hoodie on, a beanie. He's got a hoodie on, something like that. And so I stop at the stop sign, and I'm looking at him. I said, we're getting pulled over. Finally, we decide to go. As soon as we pass them, lights come on. Boom. Pulled over. Mind you, one thing that my parents always taught me, don't give the police a reason to ever accuse you of anything or to draw their weapons, etc., etc. When I get pulled over, I always automatically pull out my license or registration if I can. But mostly, I pull out my license at least. Here. Window, he comes to the door. How you guys doing? Let me see your license and registration. Boom, I had it for him already. Okay. They go back, run my stuff. Obviously, there's nothing wrong, right? I ain't do nothing. Mm-hmm. He comes back to the car. First, he says, so we had reports that this car was stolen. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. What those license plates say?
Here's my pink slip. It's got my name on it. So he goes back to the car. Come back.
Absolutely.
He comes back. He says, oh, well, you just you came out of the stop sign too fast. So where do we do that at? I'm at a stop sign. How fast can I really come out of a stop sign?
Right.
I'm watching you guys down the ways, and I see y'all. Oh, and then at that point when he realized they were wrong, that he's tried to make small talk. Oh, you guys go to Cal, you go to the school, you do this and that. Oh, you just grabbing some food. It's like, yeah,
you see the Jack in the Box.
And the rough part about all of that is the fact that I think people that have never been through that,
right,
don't know how demeaning and how bad it feels.
That's the thing. It makes you feel like a small person. Like the car that we have, that I have now, I got it from an auction, so it had paper plates.
Right.
I got pulled over for having paper plates. I did nothing.
Right.
There's nothing like that. I did not signal. I wasn't going too fast. Nothing. It's just you pulled me over because I have paper plates, and I didn't pull over immediately because there's 2 cops in the car.
Right.
I'm in West Oakland. I don't care how gentrified West Oakland is. I'm not just pulling over anywhere.
Right.
So you're gonna follow me until I get to a lighted area.
Right.
But he literally pulled me over because I have paper plates.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I've had that happen multiple times, two or three times.
Right.
An officer pulled his gun out on me when I was at the beach.
Yeah.
So I'm walking, the beach is closed. I didn't know that the beach closed at 10. I'm at Zuma, right? And I was with a lady friend or whatever, and we had a cover, but I was talking on the phone. And I didn't see the officer, the officer had the light, but I'm just thinking okay, he's flashing the light for us to get out. But he's he had already had his weapon drawn.
Yeah.
And he's like, let me see your hands. That's what he kept saying, let me see your hands, right? So I told the girl, all right, put your hands up because I don't know what the hell's going on, right? So I'm on my phone still. And then I try to put my phone in my pocket, and I just hear screaming, crazy screaming, don't move.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the? I'm like, all right, at this point, I'm like, all right, he got his gun out. So I just dropped my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And then he runs up on me, grabs me, I had a hat on, he slams me on his hood, smacks the hat off. He's like, don't ever move your hands when an officer has his gun out. But I'm like,
I'm scared as hell.
Right, they're scared. What does that have to do with me?
I'm I'm at the
though.
beach, bro, and it's dark. I'm thinking that you have a flashlight out because you're just trying to see who's at the beach.
Right.
I don't know that you have your weapon out.
Right.
I was just thinking, and my mom was on the phone the whole time when this was going on.
And
as a mother, that is horrible to have to listen to.
So the phone was on the floor.
Horrible,
so
and then she's still on it.
Yeah.
And listening.
She's screaming she don't know what's going on.
Not even that, Antoine. Isn't something else going on?
Yeah, at that point.
Something else. Somebody killing somebody somewhere. Somebody robbing somebody else over there.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
At the beach.
So here's
that's the cold part about it, because it's like you sit there, you sit there and think about who you are as a
in Alabama.
right.
Yeah.
And I feel like
this cat comes from the military. This cat in the military, he's an officer in the military.
right. Just got shot.
Yeah. Thinking he was a gunman.
Right. Trying to probably protect whoever else was there. And that's the thing. That's the cold part about it, because I think for me personally, I'm like, man, I'm a college graduate. I got a family. I got kids. Like all of these things. I'm a good person, and I try to carry myself as a good person. But they don't know that, so then they assume the worst. I got the one time I got guns drawn on me. We were shooting a music video. I was shooting a music video for the homie, at this one like area, a lot of people go. It's like an old military base, but it's real artistic and everything. And you know, people go there all the time. And we're shooting the video, and all you hear is the door, boom, slide open. Put your hands up. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, I got a fucking camera in my hand. Like, if they think this is anything else, I'm done.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the simple fact that you know, I'm on my knees, got my hands up behind my head, my boy, all of us, all same thing, and I'm looking, and this dude is staring right at us with a gun. It's like, if he accidentally pulls the trigger, somebody's dead. Like,
they hog tied my boy in at Burbank Oaks.
see?
Keith.
Right.
So
Right.
you know, here's what's interesting.
They told Keith, welcome to LA. Hog tied him in his own parking lot.
That's
Hog tied
crazy.
him.
Here's what's interesting about, like, I think
Wow,
about
man,
my
it's-
views
some are
of
good, some are just like you know what it is.
And that's the
I
cool
think
part
about
about
I,
it.
I think about like my change in the view of how I seen police, and it went through a transformation. But it's so interesting because when we grew up, when my dad first moved to Oakland, it was weird for him to see one police officer in a car because he used to out here getting thrown on the ground, and he would tell you real quick, the black officers would treat you even more fucked up than the white ones. When I was growing up, if you was fucking up, they would take your money, take your weed, kick you in the butt, and send you to school. But then there was a change. And what I realized what that change was is because we saw the same officers when they were coming around when I was younger, up until like maybe my freshman year of high school. But then the Oakland police officers weren't getting any recruits. So you no longer, so what they did was they changed the rules. So you no longer had to live in Oakland to be a recruit. So that's why when you didn't know what the shift changed or why, that was when it changed because nobody's going to shit where they live. You know where these officers live. You know where they mama live. You know where they wife live. Like, they're not going to treat you crazy. And they see you all the time. So they're not going to treat you crazy. And then when it changed, I'm like, damn, I will never in my life, I won't say his name, even though I know he wouldn't be upset. But one of our cousins, I will never forget how he looked when he got his ass beat. And even when he had his first allergic reaction to shellfish, like, it didn't bother me. But to come in and he was all sorts of colors, and my mom's trying to take pictures so he can have a case, but who do you report the police to?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it just won't never be the same. I remember my dad getting, but my dad still gets pulled over.
They hid behind a lot of stuff. They call it the war on drugs. Okay?
Right.
But it was really profiling.
Right.
Okay? Because all the cats that were selling drugs is blacks.
Exactly.
Sending guns to the hood.
Right.
It's in the inner city. It's in the inner city.
What he saying? And Straight Outta Compton, we ain't got passports.
We didn't bring no drugs into, you know what I'm saying? So it was never a war on drugs. It was a way of profiling.
A war on black people.
Right.
It was a way of profiling.
Because now that the addiction has changed, the way that they treat it is different. Oh, so you ain't gonna take little Miss Sally away from her kids because she's addicted to those oxys? No? Oh, she gets to stay at home with her family? Oh, her husband don't get to go to jail?
It's a suburban drug now.
Absolutely.
Right.
So you're like, you're not gonna tear up their family? You're gonna let him just keep his job? You know what? Here's what's interesting.
No, so being unruly is the new. Oh, we don't accept that. You're just unruly. You just look like you're disrespectful. You just look like you're a menace.
Yeah,
And that's what people keep getting the cops called on them for.
Oh, yeah.
For doing shit like that's
Normal
not
shit
illegal,
that somebody doesn't like.
That's just like unfavorable in that person's household, but you're not in their house.
Right.
We're in public space.
Yeah.
So it's
For sure.
You're just making up new rules.
Absolutely. Why
Making
not?
up new
Why
rules.
not? Because they can.
But how do we break the stigma?
So here's what I was.
Time will tell.
We can. They have to.
No, but here's what I was thinking. Like, no. I think we can.
I would say not in this room, but it's gonna break. It's gonna change. The tides are gonna change. It's gonna all change. Okay. It always does.
Yeah,
So
but
here's-
it has to change from the inside.
How
of them.
long is it gonna
here's-
take though?
But
It was such thing as rich billionaire black people. People
That's
don't know
true.
it. Such thing as Black Wall Street. It was such thing as all that.
All
the
things that they burned
everything
down.
That we done. Okay, it's been taken from it. It's plagiarized. It's been
So here's what's
stolen.
here's
It
what's
comes
interesting
back
too.
around, Cat. Just like the seasons change and the time change, it's coming back around.
Here's
That's
it.
what you're seeing now. People calling it woke. People calling it being, you know what I'm saying, No,
Right,
waking up to
right.
being
Yeah.
who you
No,
are,
that's
getting back
still
on
our. You're right as far as our mind state, but as far as like police brutality and the way we're treated by our own
that's
government,
gonna change.
that's not going to change
Yeah, that's
until
not gonna
they,
change.
that's changed
That's
within.
not going to change, but
They
so-
have to
it's
change
gonna
that
change.
within.
So you think
Until we,
you think
until
that
we
somebody
are
within
now.
like has to
Change it right
actually
It has to be us in those positions to do that.
right.
People that
Change
look
it
like
right
us,
now.
talk like us, come from the same places that we come
for
from.
sure.
Even with
I think it comes from both sides. I mean, I think on the outside looking in, it is the people who make a big, part of the change. But I also think that at some point, like it does have to change from within those same people who are affecting us, who are discriminating, who are stereotyping against us.
I believe that in a very short period of time, the mixed race generation will outnumber.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
That's true.
that
I just told you that.
starts
That's
to
what
be
you said.
Give it 40 years.
Yeah.
the
So
majority.
wait, speaking of 40 years, so we're talking about these fours. So I just recently posted something on my social media that pissed people off, and I was thinking about the
You did?
yeah,
No.
I know, right? No, never me. So I posted. We were talking about not you. I was talking with your mom about the city of Paradise, and apparently it was
Oh, I did
based
see that
on racism.
yeah.
And 40 years later, the demographics hasn't changed much. And I was like, I think it's karma. And everybody was like, oh my God, that's horrible. But my personal belief, I'm not religious. My personal belief is you reap what you sow, and that can come
Any
like
point.
generations
Right,
down.
right.
Like I think sometimes we realize that some of the things that is affecting us may not have nothing to do with us. It may be something that our ancestors did previous, before, to us. So in my thing, I was just like,
Breaks up, you know what I'm saying?
like
Reap what you sow.
you do. And so that town being started in such a way, unfortunately, people that are still there are reaping their ancestors, their mistakes. And I'm like, maybe not that, people should die, but maybe that town needed to be burnt to the ground to start fresh and to
Okay,
have new.
First of all, Shemira, them people have them houses. They bought them houses maybe $8,000, $10,000. You know what I'm saying? 50 years ago. Okay, and that's how their generation. You know what I'm saying? The younger generation became middle class and rich. We weren't able to buy houses. We weren't able to buy houses in Malibu, nowhere. That's why, and nobody knows that the projects were built for white folks.
Right.
White
original.
folks, that's the projects. The projects were built for white folks after the wars.
Yeah.
So after the second war, they built the houses. They built $8,000 houses for the people coming out of the military.
Right.
Now we stuck downtown. Now all we can do is move it to the projects because we can't buy houses.
Right.
They don't give us loans.
Right.
So
So
Damn.
all them houses they bought for $8,000 are $1 million houses now.
Right.
Who do you think that equity goes to?
Right.
They generate the next generation.
Right.
Right.
We never had.
We
that.
never had
long
that.
term
Never had that.
wealth.
Yes.
Right.
My question is,
sorry.
That's
do we
crazy. I didn't know that the projects was built
Yeah,
for them.
that's true. That's very
Is-
true.
is
They
there-
actually started building them after the First World
Yes,
War
they
to
didn't
its
call
point.
it project. They call them glamorous.
Right.
Right.
apartments.
bruh,
In cities like
Wow.
New York
look,
and Chicago,
if you
that's
look
where
at
that
South
started.
Central and
Yes.
Crenshaw
Any
and
city.
any part of LA,
Compton, what was it? Compton was
Compton,
all white people.
all white
white
people,
people.
bruh.
All white
and
people.
that's the cold part about it.
Yeah.
Celebrities used to live there. Like
Yeah.
the actual land itself
You know
was
what's crazy?
actually very valuable.
Somebody,
Yeah.
one of my homies, I was in the studio at a studio session, right? And he still lives in Inglewood. And he was saying, he was like, "Yo, I think that they really are thinking about it like we fucked up. All the ghetto people are by the beach. Why are they by the beach?
Right.
Well,
Like-
Santa Monica used to be all black.
Yeah, that's it. But
Santa Monica's
it's
all black.
crazy
I didn't
because
know
like
that.
now,
To
if
this
you
day,
think about it, all the
Santa
areas
Monica
they
has
starting to
every black
gentrify are
church
by
is
beaches
on
and
the
Yeah.
stuff like that.
triangle. Every black
Yeah.
church
It's 15
that
minutes from the beach.
So-
like,
is
Yeah,
in Santa Monica.
that makes sense.
Yeah, but Shemira
All
was
black.
Shemira was talking about Paradise was in Northern California. She
Yeah.
wasn't talking about Thousand Oaks
Yeah, no,
that
no.
got burned.
No,
She was talking about-
No, her post was about
Yeah,
Paradise.
it was just
Yeah,
about
it wasn't
Paradise,
about-
but I was
What did
saying
Trump
like,
call it?
huh?
Pleasure.
Pleasure.
But my point was like, it's a bigger point
And they just
outside of
gotta
that.
rake it.
Like, it's just sometimes you don't realize how
That's a stupid.
people who did things previous to you can affect the what you're going through now. And I'm like, this is a good time for them. Like, it's bad karma that it
Right.
happened, but this could be a good time that they can start new
But
and
I
change
think,
the
but I,
whole
but I think,
and change the whole foundation.
But I think
If you
you didn't
realize
really
what-
explain that, and it just sounded like you were just kind of being
non-empathetic.
right, empathetic to people.
But if
losing
you
their
know
lives.
me and you know I'm not racist,
Right.
it's your job to ask, not my job to
Right,
tell
right,
you
right.
anything
I-
extra. Because
I
I thought it
took
was
it-
so. I thought it was self-explanatory.
took it exactly
I
from-
have a lot of views, and that's why I don't
Yeah.
put them on Twitter because my views can't be explained within
Yeah.
100 and whatever characters.
Yeah,
you have.
absolutely.
I got
But
a
I'm like, all you
question.
gotta. But all you got to do is act, like if there's something, if you know who I am and you know I'm not racist, like at some point your job is to say, wait, what do you mean by that? Because I thought it was self-explanatory.
Right.
I'm like, I didn't say shit racist in here. I'm just talking about the demographics and
Right.
what this place came from.
I got
Yeah,
a
thought
question.
that explained it.
And y'all have to make sure about your audience too. Like,
That's
when
true.
you think about it.
Everybody's
if,
gonna
Who's
get
watching?
hurt by
Yeah.
something.
Right, right.
If
This
the
is true.
audience was as intelligent as we like them to believe, then we wouldn't have the current administration. But
You
they're
are
not.
absolutely
But they're not.
100%
But
right.
they're
Right.
not.
It-
They're
It's just
not.
they're not. So you
Yeah.
gotta,
You like, so-
literally, you
So
gotta
basically,
dumb it
Shemira,
down.
you should explain that
You
a
gotta
little
dumb
bit.
it down.
Dumb it down for
You gotta
everybody
dumb it
else.
down.
So
It's so annoying to me as a person who I don't know why. It just personally is so annoying to me the miseducation of our entire country. And it's just
100%.
like basic English
Yeah.
could be contorted
Yes.
to benefit whoever you want. And it's basic English. Like
Yeah.
yes or no.
Wait.
Like
So-
Yeah, what you
This
mean by
is-
that?
Who do you guys
Say that one more time.
Wait, Car-
When
wait, Car-
When it comes to a race, who do you guys not like?
no one.
So you're
Yeah.
not racist.
Right.
I'm
You
not.
can't-
No, I don't
No,
dislike,
no,
but I
no,
will
no,
say
no.
I don't like racist
there
people.
is a particular race that I can attribute most of the world's problems since the beginning of time.
No,
to.
fuck that. No, hold
wait,
on. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
Wait.
I'm gonna say it.
I don't dislike.
I'm going to say it.
Wait, time
I'm
out.
going to
Time
say
out.
it.
Oh, Lord, 'cause
Hold on.
Damon's about to
I'm
walk
going
out
to
right.
say it.
Damon, say
I'm
it,
going
because
to
you know
say it.
he's your
I'm going to
outer
say it.
voice.
I don't dislike.
I'm going to
You
say
know
it.
he's your
I don't
outer
dislike.
voice. You know
You
he's your outer
contribute.
voice.
You can contribute all the problems in the world back to white people.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Yes, those are facts.
But- but-
Yes,
no, hold on.
That's
Hold on.
dislike. Dislike.
Wait.
I like your
Hold
opinion.
on. I'm not
Wait,
done. Hold on.
calm down
Hold
though.
on.
Let
Hold
him
on.
finish.
I'm not done. You can't be racist against your oppressor. That's impossible. So we as a people cannot be racist against them. We're just resenting that oppression.
But let me. Interestingly enough, I think. Wait.
No, it's in our hearts, but I'm saying.
No. That's a dislike of the oppression.
Wait.
That's
Time
not
out.
racism.
Let me say because
Yeah,
I
'cause
differ.
if it was the case that it wasn't like that, then we wouldn't hate.
Exactly.
Wait. So yeah, let me say I think.
But I don't. But I don't hate.
Time
I'm
out.
just
Whose
saying,
show is this,
I don't
motherfucker?
dislike.
I think it's my show.
Facts. These are
I told you I'm
Just
taking
saying.
over.
He did. He really did.
I'm Cash Money Records, and it's the 99-2000.
No, but for 2 seconds,
Hold on, this is my show.
I agree and disagree for a little bit. So I think that black people can be racist, but I think the foundation of our racism is different, and that's why nobody should look at our racism with any sort of malice in their heart. I think black people are racist from miseducation, ignorance, and feeling like they're superior. I think black people are racist because they had evidence of people being affecting you. Like I think about Muhammad Ali when he was talking about 10,000 snakes coming near you, and he's like, so what if it's 2 snakes in there that's not gonna attack me? What am I supposed to let them through the door for the 2 snakes? No, I'm gonna close the door and leave everybody out. So I think that black people are racist, but I have but I do have a problem with anyone that has been oppressed. Your job is to go out of your way to never oppress anybody else. Like black
that's
people
true.
talking down to black people, black people
I hate
dogging
that.
like
I hate it.
LGBT crew. Like that is
can't
not
stand
okay.
it.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, if a white boy walked in here right now, would you be racist to him?
No.
No, that's
No.
no. You're still that's still
Right.
not racism though. That's still
But
resenting
if he does some dumb shit, then I'm probably gonna be like, bruh, like that.
Yeah.
You're not racist. You just like politically correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's fair.
Right.
And
Don't
that's
be
fair.
coming in here talking about YG My Nigga. It's my favorite song.
So,
Go ahead.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I got a question.
I get
because-
that. I get your point though, Damon. I really do. I get your point. I got it for sure.
I wouldn't say that.
Yes, I definitely understand that.
So
I was talking about racism though. I wasn't talking about prejudice.
So
Yeah,
I got a
get that.
question.
Yeah.
What's your question, VJ? What's your question, VJ? BJ.
So
Hey, we not walking around blacks is superior and all that
Yeah,
shit.
for
nah,
sure.
right.
Shit, that's racist.
We are.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, Tiffany like, but maybe.
Okay.
We are.
So
Wait, what's your question, VJ?
Check
Oh,
those basketball scores.
I've had many conversations on Facebook or in person. Well, one, let me put this out there that I have plenty of friends. Cara can attest to the fact that I have many diverse friends, and but I do gravitate. I grew up in Fairfield, California, so it's really
Yeah.
diverse. 25%, pretty much every race. Well, the
It's
most, the
10
more.
people in grass.
Half of them white.
Yeah, 5 of them was white.
Right.
3
I
was Asian.
have many friends of different
was
races,
him and his sister.
but I've also had conversations with many of these people or just new people about, can we use, as black people, can we use our ancestors' struggles as an excuse to why we're not maybe further along now?
No, we
To a
can't.
certain extent.
Further along, yes.
Well,
to a certain
please,
extent.
please,
If we're still suffering because of that, then yes. which
Further-
we are.
Because the system,
further along, yes.
Oh, sorry, go Damon.
Go,
Those are
David.
facts.
I answer it that has nothing to do with it. Okay? It's not a conspiracy. It was
It happened.
It was perpetrated.
It happened.
It was
It's the
planned,
system.
and it was
Right to the
executed
60s.
to
Right.
be exactly what it
your
is.
skin color to read it right or to the 60s.
Right. Okay. So let me reword that. Right. So can we? So I don't mean blame our ancestors, but I mean, can we use our struggle in the past?
Supposed to.
Right. Because I've said that
Supposed
to me personally, I believe that we still are suffering from those
We are.
struggles.
We are.
Agreed.
But
We are.
I have people who like to disagree with that fact. They don't see that. Oh, give it up. Oh, move on.
No, but think
Move
about.
on.
Look,
How do I move on?
Wait, but listen. Literally, Damon just talked about a point.
Right.
To where we didn't own property, we weren't allowed to own property. So
Right.
that's literally a heads
Right.
up that they get
So
that
let me-
equity.
So
Right.
let me
In the
speak
last
to my own
podcast, we
experience.
talked about financial wealth and
Right.
longevity, right? But we didn't have that advantage of
Exactly.
learning how to
And
pass
we say-
down. We didn't
Exactly.
have
The only thing on this earth that holds wealth and equity
money.
is property.
Mm-hmm. Right.
A car, jewelry, watch.
Absolutely.
It's not worth anything.
And we didn't get that.
And we didn't get any of it.
So
Not
let
here,
me
at least.
tell you why people who are like my age, which is I'm
How old are you?
27.
I'm
She's
20,
in her
so
mid
I'm
to late
27. So sometimes VJs has these conversations, debates with people on Facebook who are our age, and what they don't see is they don't see the big picture. So in my
Right.
experience, I can't say that I have felt held down from moving forward. But doesn't mean I
Yes.
have not recognized or have not faced racism.
But here's the
That doesn't mean that
Yes.
in my parents, the
For
way they
sure.
grew up
Yes, they-
had
For
to be
sure.
that much harder, and that's only one generation between us.
But you have to understand,
So-
psychologically, they
Right.
screwed us.
So
Okay,
that's why
right.
when VJ's talking about people who are speaking on Facebook are saying like, oh, this isn't as bad as the rest of you folks are seeing. That's because maybe they haven't got it yet.
Right.
They
But
haven't
so-
got
Right.
it yet. Doesn't
So
mean
that's
it's
my
not
point.
happening.
But also, but here's the thing. Sometimes we don't even realize how we've been affected. So
Exactly.
you have some
You may not
people
even know.
that literally
Right.
have already had. You have people that don't look like you that have had properties that they can just sell and give away because they've
Right.
generations back.
Right.
It was given to you.
How often
You didn't have that.
How often is it when you grow up in a black household that when you turn 18, your parents tell you got to
You
get
gotta
out,
go,
right?
Man, and at 18, they still need
To
you.
own a fucking property.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
They ripped from some.
What are
Listen.
they passing down to you?
Right.
I grew up with my uncles and aunties.
Right.
I thought my grandparents owned the house.
Right.
All my life.
Right, right.
They rented from Mr. Nato.
Come to find out, exactly.
Okay?
We about to wrap up.
You know what I'm saying?
10 more minutes.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
and that's my
So,
thing.
like, and then you got black folks fight for somebody.
For shit that ain't even theirs.
Like Crips and Bloods. They
Right.
fight for a fucking block they would never own.
Right. And
My
they
mama and
and
daddy
they
never owned a fucking house on this block. Nigga.
right. And they
What you
created the
fighting for?
fucking gang in order to fight against the police. And now look at it. It's turned against each other.
So interesting
Hey, you
that
know
we
what's funny?
go ahead.
Marvel
I had
vs.
to- no,
Capcom.
I had to-
Lead single.
No, but I had this
Creative with
conversation
this.
a
I
lot
was
of
so
times
sorry.
with like my homies, cause like you know like I got a lot of homies that are in that life, and it be funny because they all agree, but at the same time they be like, hey nigga, but I tell you like. Some of my homies would be like, nigga, it's my block still. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Like, but and that's the thing that is like, it's fuck.
mental.
Yeah,
It's brainwashed.
exactly.
It's
Because
brainwashed.
like,
For sure.
Yeah.
Unity.
But-
Unity.
but
Right.
I learned that it's
Right.
it's something that it's a fallacy, and a fallacy is just that it's a belief based on something that's not true.
Right.
Yes.
So you can't fix it anymore because
Psychological, Antoine. That is the biggest game. You know what I'm saying? To brainwash you to thinking that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
It's,
because if my
it's
dad
crazy.
died, my cousin died, and everybody died for this, it becomes something that's different now. So I
Right.
can't leave it.
And that's
You
the
know what I
thing.
mean?
It's crazy. I literally just told Cara this morning. I was sitting there. I said I got a homie who died, who was shot and killed on Thanksgiving Day a few years back, right? And I said, damn, Cara. I said, where I'm from, like, it's not necessarily known as a bad place, but the Bay Area as a whole has suffered from so much of honest like suffering. I mean, they've been suffering for so long. I said, how many places, high schools can you go to when you talk to these people that are my age, and if I ask them how many of your friends have died since you graduated high school.
Yeah.
You ask me how many of my people that I
sure,
know
I
that
can
I
tell you a
literally went to school with, shook their hands with, associated with, did things
sure,
with.
I can tell you a few.
And I grew up in the fucking suburbs of my area,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and it's still
where are they?
because
They
of
dead
suburbs.
or in jail?
For sure.
Like I said, I grew up in the hood.
You feel me?
So I, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
But
got
that's
a
the
lot, too.
thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Sadly.
what they with.
I get
Right.
Wait,
creative.
time out. We live out on the outskirts of the Bay Area. I was
Right.
just talking to Dewana about this. Kai, junior year, can count people that he has lost.
Exactly.
For lots of
And
different reasons.
that's the cold
For
part.
lots
because
of different reasons.
I realized, I said, wait, there's people out there that literally grow up not having to deal with none of this.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got it decent.
Okay,
Like,
so let me
They ain't black.
wait. So here's the thing.
I didn't.
Wait,
I didn't. I'm black.
no, but
Or they not from.
luckily
they not
from where
from
you
LA.
guys, they're not from the
From our
valley.
perspective.
Like
They
you
not
guys
from
have the
LA.
valley.
Or
So that's-
California per se.
I've had several friends that I haven't lived that experience.
Right.
Yeah, but
The
that's
only friend that I've lost was because of an overdose for drugs.
so. Wait,
I haven't lost anybody because I actually watched him get shot. Imagine
that's the
fact,
difference. So I was gonna
only
bring
time
that
I
up.
actually saw somebody get shot. I was like in disbelief. I didn't think that it was real.
So I was actually gonna bring that up because you guys living where you guys live,
right.
your issues that you have to worry about with your kids are school shootings.
Right.
You got to worry about
drugs.
drug overdose. Where we
And
come
suicide.
from, you got to worry about getting shot on your way to school.
Right.
You gotta-
by motherfuckers that actually go to school with you. By people that you shake hands with.
No, I get that.
Several places.
I said-
I've had the ability of having several different backgrounds.
I
and
get
still
that.
don't have
But
that
your background is
experience.
different from your mom's background too because of the.
That's on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, yeah.
And that's
Shout
it.
out to the mama.
Yeah,
you know
And
what
that's
I'm
shout out
saying?
to that.
So
Yeah.
that also brings me. It makes me think of. So when I worked at this veterinary hospital, and I won't mention her name, even though I'm not saying anything bad about her. I said we were talking about our family lives, and I realized how similar it was, but it was different. But not it was different in the things, but not in how it made us feel. So me being younger, I mean, I used to go. I remember visiting my uncle in jail all the time.
Right.
Like that was just
Right.
normal. For her, who is not black, her normal was visiting her dad, who was a neurologist or he did neurosurgery or something like that. Her normal was visiting him at a rehab. And I remember when I was going into labor, Kai's other grandma was like, if you have to go into surgery, your doctor needs to have a drug test. And I was like, what? This man was performing surgery on people's brain. And they constantly just sent him to rehab, sent him back to work, sent him to rehab, sent him back to work. Her mother died of an overdose of drugs that she got from her job.
Right.
And I was like, dang, you visited your family in rehab. We didn't get that luxury.
Right.
Our family had to go to jail.
Right.
Your dad used to go back to work, and he could make all this great money for you guys. Ours,
Right.
it ripped
I
our
got-
family apart.
But I still feel
So
like
it
that's
showed the
same-
difference of the different
I
areas.
understand that there's a difference, but I still feel like that also perpetuates a stigma because black people can still be in rehab. Just like they can be in jail.
When do
Black
they go
people
in
can be
rehab in the hood, boo boo? It don't work that
There's
way.
people that go in rehab.
If you
choose.
choose,
If
you
you
choose,
choose.
you no
Choose.
no. Black people go into rehab in the hood if they go before they get arrested. It has to be a choice.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't get the option to go to rehab if they have drugs in their pocket.
That's also the family supports it. I know a
Oh,
lot of
Like,
black families
it's-
support that.
it's not-
You
it's not
saying,
that
like,
way.
You saying that they're more likely to get in trouble with the law
Yes.
before they I see
Before
what
they
you mean.
actually do something
yeah.
to solve
Right.
the problem.
But what it did to
yeah.
her as a child was no different than how it affected us. So it was different but the same. It's just it gave her the extra leg up that her
Right.
family got to keep an income. She never had to move from one house to another because he still had money coming in.
Right.
So it's the same. Like I was saying, you guys have different things that you got to worry about with your kids going to school because of the area that you live in. Yes, you're black, but let's talk about it. You in the valley.
That's the thing that I think about. I'm
So
like, damn.
out here, it's not that you guys don't have the same issues, and I'm not saying that it's not wrong for you guys to worry. We have the same stuff. It's
real.
just different. So that's why I think
gangbangers in the
when
valley
I
too,
think that
and
there's
Yeah.
when laws are made, like there has to be laws that are made with different people at the table. Because as of right now, the gun laws that they want has nothing to do. It'll affect you guys as kids, but it'll have shit to do with ours. Because
Right.
our kids die by illegal guns every fucking day.
Illegal
Yes.
guns. Make that capital illegal.
And now, because of what's happening in white schools, they're getting pushed to the front of the line again, and that's just another reason to push us to the back. It's things that aren't getting talked about, which sucks because of where you guys live. But again, it doesn't take from the heartache that they go through from that. I just want to make that very clear. It's just different areas, like you can see where it may not look like a privilege, but you guys, you're already getting pushed to the line about issues because you make it on the news
But
every day.
It sucks
Sometimes
because
the
it.
privilege is all about how it's reported.
Exactly.
Right.
You are exactly right.
Right.
When the exact same situation happens, who do
Yes.
they choose to interview?
Exactly.
Right.
Who do they ask
Right.
what happened over
That's
there?
a
Exactly.
big problem.
That.
That's
Yeah.
a big problem.
So I didn't want you
Wait,
to feel
to
like
your
I
point,
didn't hear you.
that's happening right now.
Yeah,
What's the difference between the crack epidemic and the opioid
exactly. We were
Okay.
talking about that.
Do y'all
epidemic? No,
remember,
there's one difference.
The
y'all
color
remember-
of who's
who it's
using it.
affecting.
Exactly.
That's the only difference
color
of who it's
is
affecting.
using.
Do y'all remember when the little girl brought the gun to school and it went off in her backpack and they were trying to arrest the mom?
Right.
The mom.
Yeah.
Our kids get arrested for sexting.
Right.
And in Louisiana,
And they charge as
if
adults.
if they're younger
That's
than 17,
wild.
they
And
get
they
charged
charge
as
as
adults.
adults.
Anytime,
Yeah.
but anytime the
16,
school shootings and it's the kid or whatever, they never talk about they're gonna arrest the parents.
Right.
Like what the fuck? Like
So
Right.
crazy.
that's wild.
So
That's
crazy.
the wildest thing to me. Like how you gonna step to that? But
It's
then
a. It's
now-
a.
It's
oh,
not
it's a-
the same everywhere.
No,
and
it's
that's,
not.
It's really sad.
not.
I had a
That's
student who
wild, man.
was he really did not know what the boundaries were
Yeah.
for sexual harassment. And this is a middle schooler. Did not know the boundaries.
yeah,
Still did not know the boundaries, right? And so we're as educators like petrified that this is going on. And this student was arrested and I cried. I was so hurt that he was arrested instead of educated.
So
I'm gonna say, yeah, that-
I'm
And
gonna
that-
say.
and that
in that
really
regard, that's
hurt
like
me.
yeah, that's
Okay,
that's
so
based-
let me be clear. I'm
education
I'm gonna say a
and
truth
home
that
training and all that.
not a lot of people know. My mom just found out, and I talked to Monica about this. I was molested so much as a child that I thought it was normal. I molested 2 other children because I just thought it was normal. I didn't know, but it was happening to me so much. It was just what you did. That was my normal interaction. I didn't have anyone to tell me, no, that's not okay. And me being 34 now, when I look back, I'm not angry at the people that molested me. I feel sorry for them because I wonder what happened to them to make them do it to me.
But you see how the world has changed. Though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is big
Yeah.
though. We do need to educate our children on that.
Yes.
Right.
Even myself,
none of that molestation on. Okay, it comes from a lot from the Catholicism. Catholicism is a whole problem. Okay.
He means Catholicism.
Capitalism
We
is.
only got 5 minutes. We can't
Yeah.
get rid
Well, yeah, we can't get too deep because
Yeah,
It
well,
was about to keep
those
going.
lines
Yeah.
are blurred,
Yeah.
on
Very.
what's appropriate
Yeah.
and what's not appropriate.
For sure.
Myself, and Tiffany had a conversation a few months ago about that,
About what?
about
A
like
lot of black
different
people were
boundaries
actually raised
on what is
Catholic.
accepted
Yes.
and what's not
It's
accepted,
a lot.
Yes.
as far as your
This
interaction
is
with
why
women
I
in
don't pick a
general.
religion at this point.
I'm not saying
And look, Shemira, a lot of that we're not passing on. Okay, that generation has been, you know what I'm saying, is not anymore. Put it that way. You know what I'm saying? We don't believe in that. We don't pass that on as generations anymore.
Right.
Catholicism, Catholicism.
I disagree.
Okay, all that religious shit. We don't
Them
pass that
Catholics.
on. Okay.
It's not just a Catholic.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna give Tiffy a couple seconds.
No. I was just saying. No, I'm just saying. I disagree. It's not just religion.
No, that was just an example.
Yeah,
But
okay,
what
okay,
you got
okay.
2 seconds to
No,
say
that
what
was
you.
it.
Okay.
Johnny, I think Johnny has something to say.
No, I was just talking about how the
No, I didn't have nothing
lines,
to say, but I'm just saying.
the lines are blurred on what is okay and what's not okay as far as men's interaction with women.
Yeah.
I myself, at 32 years old, probably did some predator-like things that I did not know were
Right.
Yeah, I think every
inappropriate.
man.
For
Yo,
sure.
it is for a lot of people.
blurred
That's
lines.
because they
Unfortunately,
weren't
that's the thing.
whipping
No,
the
I
boys
never-
like, no, this isn't just boys be boys. They
Yeah.
weren't
Right.
saying
Yeah.
exactly what yes is and exactly what no is.
Right.
And so
Exactly.
that's why I
Yeah.
have a student who was like still
Exactly.
like, oh, like,
It's okay to grab her
oh,
butt.
she wanted
Yeah.
because she laughed. No, she
Yeah.
laughed because she was hurt.
Yeah.
And she laughed because
And
she
she
had
was
to get over it.
uncomfortable.
I've as a grown
Okay,
adult
no, that
have
was a no.
literally as a grown
Stop.
adult
Yeah.
has
Stop
done that,
saying
like
that
been in
there
an
was
uncomfortable
something in between.
situation
No,
and I've
there
laughed
wasn't.
it off
Yeah.
because I didn't know how to deal
Right,
with it.
and
Yeah.
people don't talk about it
Yeah.
again until they get to college.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this started in middle school.
Even
All right,
in
well,
college,
It
like,
started
you
in
don't know.
elementary
Well, I just
school.
I
Do with religion.
well
I disagree with
I
that.
disagree with that part, but
I
Because
disagree
this
with that.
generation is still molesting and raping, and this generation is so far removed from religion that it's not even funny. So it's not
Yes,
just
they are.
religion.
I didn't,
not. They
I
are
didn't
not.
rape anybody,
I mean,
for
yeah.
the record.
but again,
I just probably did stuff
But again-
that wasn't appropriate.
but again, you also got to think about
But I didn't
how.
rape anybody,
Wait, but
like,
to Damon's point, let me.
Let's
to-
get that
wait,
out,
wait,
too.
wait.
No, I
To-
said sexual
Wait,
assault.
no,
or rape.
but
Sexual
to
assault is a lot
Damon's
of
wait,
things.
time out. But I'm gonna say this to Damon's point. Even if you're not technically religious, if your parents and your grandparents were religious, they're passing that down to you. So whether you are that religion or not, those
But I think
values are passed to
My
you.
generation stopped all that molestation shit. Okay,
Not really.
I was adamant about that shit. It's not gonna happen to my kids.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be there.
But you don't know.
But I'm saying,
I got molested.
I'm
I got
saying-
molested in my own house.
No, it's
Multiple
your-
times.
But it's like
It's
And
your
my
generation
parents-
in your household.
My
though.
mom just found out this year.
Did you pass it to Kai?
No,
but
but
it's like, but you
That's,
have to
that's
teach
your
it.
generation
but-
in your household.
but
Because there's definitely
also-
people in your age group that are still molested.
yes, for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, in your
He's
household
not,
though.
yeah, you talking about in your house.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, because I was like, your generation. I'm like, wait.
That's
Say
a
that
micro
again?
Example. We're talking about the macro.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
All right.
that's his household though.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
this
glad.
is-
I'm glad you clarified that. But I just want to say, first of all, I'm gonna end with this because I meant to say it earlier when you had talked about like how do we change it. Brittany.
Nobody's telling you to be quiet. but
She's
you
trying
know-
to end
No,
it.
I'm telling you to be
Wrap
quiet.
up. She's
Brittany,
trying to
no,
wrap
Brittany,
up.
Brittany,
She's trying to wrap
Brittany.
up.
Shows wrapping
No,
Wrapping up.
Brittany.
Brittany.
Hey, yo, Brittany, I'm telling you to be quiet because we're trying to wrap it up.
We wrapping up. We
Brittany,
wrapping up.
we're trying to wrap this up. I'm asking you to be quiet, please. We can continue this off the mic, I swear. To bring back to your original point, VJ, when you had talked about, I don't remember if it was in this podcast or the last one, how do we change it? I think one thing that we can start with is getting to know the people we live next to, because
Right.
I know when we lived in Oakland, I lived on the same street. We knew each other, like every neighbor. I'm telling you, the dope fiends used to sell back in the day when they had the food stamp books. They used to sell us our food stamps. They knew what size clothes I wore. Like, we knew what was going on down there. My car got broke. My dope fiend uncle made sure he found out who took care of it. It was just how it was, that sense of community. When we moved out of that neighborhood, it blew my mind that people didn't know who they were living next to. Where I live, like, Kai can walk to this one house where this girl was kidnapped and kept in this house in the backyard for like 10 years. And when you live next door to her, you're like, she gave birth to 2 kids in this backyard and nobody knew.
Right.
So I think that's a big part of how we get started. Does it change everything? No, but I think it's a great start. Start getting to know the people that you live next to. Make it normal. Make them understand, because I think sometimes people have issues with other races because they don't come in
understand.
contact with them.
Right.
Like you've never. I mean, there are still black people that's never met white people. There's still white people that's never encountered Mexicans or black people.
Right.
Like, that's crazy. So you're gonna believe whatever you're told.
And that's why I said I'm
So,
fortunate because I grew up in an area where it's
Right.
super diverse. 26, 26,
I
24,
think that
24.
matters. I mean, I grew up when I was in middle school. I went to school on the base.
We didn't grow up, you know what I'm saying, watching black families on TV.
Right, that too.
Yeah.
Representation is so important.
Positive representation matters.
It's so
that
important.
matters.
That's why it's such a big deal. You know, they made such a big deal about Cosby. You know, that's why I think the show Blackish is really important.
Yeah.
Because it's just
Absolutely.
how often do we get to see that? How often do our kids get to see it?
Exactly.
It's really, I mean,
They don't need Love and Hip Hop in every state or city. Like, we don't need that.
Right.
Bill Cosby is a rapist.
Listen,
that's a whole other topic.
I'm gonna say this because you
That's a
ain't
whole
gonna.
other topic.
Wait, no. I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna let you get the last word on this. I don't disagree with you. I do what I do. No. I don't disagree with you. However, wait. No. Let me just say this. I definitely don't disagree with you. However, what I have an issue with is how they handle that case, because how they handle it with a rich black person is going to affect how they handle our poor black people.
You're speaking about, and going back to Karma, he raped women for 40 years and finally got caught. Karma.
No.
Karma.
No.
Karma.
No, it doesn't work that way.
It
Because
does.
no, here's why I'm gonna say this.
This is where the justice system got it
This
right.
is where this is not where.
Bye-bye, Bill.
Wait,
Bye-bye.
time out. Turn her mic off. Where Nick at?
Bye-bye,
This
Bill.
is not where it got it right, because the justice system, when it fucks up him, it fucks up Johnny, Jamal, Jason.
Johnny is not out here raping.
Well,
bitches.
whatever. No.
Clarify that.
It
Let's
doesn't.
get that
It doesn't.
straight.
But it doesn't have to be about Johnny raping someone. The moment that they find out that they can use loopholes, who the fuck do you think it affects first?
Right.
I don't care that he's a rapist. I know he's a rapist. He should go to jail.
Okay,
That is not what I'm saying.
Then you please
No.
another
I
argument.
hope
No,
his booty
he
gets
should
plugged
not go
and
to
put
jail
in the
how
pot
he
right
went
now.
though.
Yes, he should. Yes, he should.
You don't get to.
I say we need to raise black lawyers.
Absolutely.
We need to raise
Exactly.
black
lawyers,
lawyers,
judges, everything.
people of high
Absolutely.
esteem.
Okay.
Because
But you know what it is?
Next time,
Let me
a
tell you though.
high-profile
What?
celebrity
Let me
rapes
tell you
somebody
this. Let me
who's
tell you this.
black,
I got a
then they can put
poem
them in
that's
jail.
crazy about
Yes.
it. About this stuff.
No,
Agreed.
but
But-
it's just it's
Hold on.
representation.
The
Yeah.
reason
Yes.
why I
In
love hip hop
communities.
and everything is because, like, if you look at it, they always show you what they have, and they show you in an example. If a doctor was like, "Look, I just paid 12 children through college," right? Then a kid can be like, "Damn, like I want to be a lawyer because that's something that I would like to do."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Lawyers, doctors, and all these people in those fields need to take that approach.
Yes.
They can't just be a doctor and move out the hood and be
Right.
like, I'm good now.
That makes me.
No,
Yeah.
you have to be in the media. You have to be like a
Yeah.
black youngster. Like,
Absolutely.
look, this is what I'm doing. I'm driving a
Yes.
car. I'm a doctor. I'm saving lives. You have to be that loud. Nobody
Yeah.
ever done shit being quiet.
Yeah, for sure.
Propaganda. It's not gonna be no propaganda behind it.
Yeah, nobody's ever done
Well,
anything
hey,
being
look,
quiet.
I will say
That's
on
shit.
a positive note, I feel like our representation has increased.
Yes,
I feel like
for sure.
you know, Cara
out to
knows me.
Anthony
I get excited when I see black sitcoms.
Yes.
You know, like that's
Good
just me.
ones, for
like,
sure.
Like, I just
Me
you
too.
know
All of them,
on the,
even the
on
ones
the
I
major
don't watch.
networks, CBS and,
All of
and
them.
NBC,
Exactly.
NBC. I
Yeah.
watch them all
Yeah.
because I
Because
feel
they
like
need our
it's
support.
important because I grew up. I don't know what it was. For me, I gravitated towards it.
Creed 2
so
in
as a
theaters
kid,
now.
I would sit there and watch them, and I would aspire to have these relationships,
Yeah.
have this family, this quote unquote perfect family,
Right.
you know. And that's just, I mean, I feel like there's so many kids, whether they're in the hood, suburbs, whatever, they need that.
Yeah.
There's so many black kids
For
that
sure.
need that.
Yeah, and if a doctor rolled through in a Benz in the neighborhood,
Right.
then I'd be like,
Right.
damn. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
Because the
but you know
dope
who-
dealers do
you
it
know
all
who
the
rolled through my
time.
neighborhood?
The dope
E40.
dealers.
I met
Facts.
E40 in my
Hey.
neighborhood.
Facts.
Hey.
Right.
Like, so that, like,
He pull up.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether
As long
it
as
been
that
E40
doctor
or
is
a
not
doctor,
Cliff
it'd have been the
Huxtable,
same.
Right.
Yeah, doctor.
You gotta make it cool. You gotta make it.
It can be
something
Cliff
cool.
I didn't
Huxtable.
have
Just
any
make sure they got
doctors
some
driving
good
through my
judges and
neighborhood.
jury because he shouldn't have got arrested the way they did it. He should do it fairly because it
So,
affects our kids.
how we
It's not
look-
about him.
The right
So
way.
we about to wrap it up. He did not. So we're gonna differ on that all day long.
Yes, we
Because
are.
I worry about
we are
he
gonna
did
differ
not
on something.
because I'm
We
not
are.
worried about Bill Cosby. See, that's where your focus is. I'm worried about the 30 million kids that come behind
I get
that they
that.
affect.
I get
That's
that.
what
And
I care
we're
about.
gonna do our best to show good
That's
role
what I
models,
care.
and we're gonna
Yeah.
let Bill Cosby do himself in jail.
Yeah, but
Do you,
he-
Bill?
I want him. Listen,
Bye, Bill.
and
Bye-bye.
let me be clear. I
Bye-bye,
want him
Bill.
to go to jail.
Pookie
I
on the
want
top
them to do
punk
it
is
right.
doing
But
Bill
I
right
want, they
now.
have to do it right because
Pookie
I
up
don't
there
need
tearing
my
that
kid
pudding
to
pop